Hello, my Zodiacs, and welcome to your day. Today, as you know by now, because I've probably already told you, Mercury is in full retrograde. And I wanted to get something up sooner, but I was having such problems finding something that really spoke to me as far as that would portray the energies that I wanted to offer you guys as a collective, not a single sign. You know, Mercury being in retrograde, it affects all of us. It's not just any one of us. Granted, it is in Capricorn, so it does affect Capricorn a little bit more. But what I have today is a reading that I'm offering for everyone. This is the Mercury in retrograde Capricorn. It's not specifically Capricorn, but a little bit. And I don't mean specifically for Capricorn. I mean, how is it affecting us that it's happening in Capricorn? For 2021, we're going to do a 5-card reading. I've inverted the spread because we're retrograde in my mind. You know, the original concept was for the cards to go down and up, and ours are going to go up and down. And I've also rearranged the numbers and transposed the meanings to be retrograde required. I wanted to find someone who had posted one of these before, and just no one had anything that was speaking to me. And that's when I've learned even more, just in starting this channel, that this is a very new platform in my mind. Like, yes, people are doing it, but it is not being done to a degree that you can't still just inject it all with your own energy, because there is so much undiscovered and new ground to cover. So just getting into it before I lose daylight, what I have been doing is shuffling and contemplating and really thinking good on these energies of what is the truth of what we need to know. And that's what I always do. I always do any kind of shuffling or dealing, trying to understand a truth, not trying to, create any one vibe over another. I just want pure truth to come through. I am just a conduit to what, universal chance and chaos could, help and guide us, Anything is everything, or it can be. One of my favorite quotes comes from Jurassic Park, Ian Malcolm, and his chaos theory is you can't predict, how chaos will happen twice. So that's the reason that, tarot can be, and astrology can be so questionable, but at the same time, it's the same reason that it is so beautiful and undisprovable in my mind. You can say that yes, only 20% of the time, tarots or astrology ring true, but statistically that's a lot better than zero last time I checked. So I really feel like if something can help even one person, it's beautiful. And the thing about tarot and the thing about astrology, when you think about it on a long-term level, day to day, week to week, and really see how does it apply to you. I may not ever know you as well as maybe a person might think I should, and that's why I would never claim to be like a psychic. I'm not going to be able to tell you the truth about everything, but if you can learn to know yourself, and part of the journey that I have gone on creating these channels and doing all of this is to help me learn myself as well. An ever-evolving self, assessing, self-awareness, and just being open to the energies that are available to us. So let me just jump into it before I just fully lose daylight here. This is going to be my first spread that I ever created. This is the first planetary spread I've ever created. Obviously, it's my first one. And this is Mercury in retrograde. How do we move forward? And so we have 5 cards. The first card represents self-expression. The second card represents how honest communication will be affected over the next few weeks. The third card, it represents what you might need to turn to if issues should arise with communication. The fourth card, what habits should you avoid while Mercury is in retrograde? And our fifth card, what energy should I protect while Mercury is in retrograde? Personally, if I only did one card, I would want to do this one. It's very important to me. Very, very. Another thing that is very important to me, other than just smelling this beautiful lavender, oh my gosh, love it, is doing these raw. I am still, in being honest, I would say that I'm a novice still to reading tarot, and I'm not a novice to reading cards, but tarot is something that has been somewhat newer to me, and I'm really enjoying the trials and tribulations that go along with it. So I go through this, in my own way, with the understandings that I have about all the planets and the cards, and just in general, my own personal energies being affected into these readings, and of course the amount of wine I've been drinking. Cheers. So, the first card. How will it affect our self-expression? So what we have here is the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is predominantly about sharing with others, being able to express ourselves, with people that we care about. There is always a sense of satisfaction and foundational growth from the tens. The tens are very solid, very concrete, represented by Earth itself. No other card that I know of is represented by Earth except for the tens. So here we have emotional finality. So when it comes to our self-expression and how we go about dealing with others and representing ourselves over the next month, it's almost a month. I think it's January, February 21st is when it ends. I'll post that, of course. But it started January 30th, 31st. And it all depends on how you grade it, because right now Mercury is still not moving. Tonight, Sunday 31st, the evening of the 31st, it will begin to move backwards. So between the 29th and the 30th, it was just stopping and migrating to the right. But anyway, so moving back into the reading, what we have here is that the self-expression that will be affected, is going to affect how you share your time with others. Specifically, according to this reading, for the next month, you should be very careful about the way that you are being limited, I should say, because it's not like how you share your time with others. We all want to share time with others in different activities and ways, but make sure that you aren't being derailed needlessly. Make sure that you're not coming up with excuses for not sharing your life with the people that you love. It will, it could happen. I'm not going to say that it will happen, and I'm not going to say that it won't happen, but this is something to be aware of. According to the energies in the drawings, in the cards that I've laid out for you, if you're watching this channel, this is for you. It's not for someone who's not watching this channel. This is for someone who is willing to be here and wants to know my point of view through the cards, through my point of view, So be careful of how you express and communicate with others, how you spend your time, and most importantly, just how you allow yourself to make excuses for not spending time with others. Don't be false to yourself. So in the second position, in general, how will honesty and understanding and honesty in communication and understanding be affected? And here we have the Page of Swords. You know, the swords are our very logical, analytical side. They are always striving and thinking and being very prone to sticking to the most sound path. But when it comes to the pages, okay, you know, you have this energy. A page is always going to represent kind of a new concept energy, like someone who's new to the game, you know, kind of like me to tarot, a new energy. And, you know, there's an eagerness usually to share and communicate and be open to conversation with people in general. When it comes to what I am trying to represent to you today, how will honest communication and understanding be affected by Mercury being retrograde? Well, that innocence is going to be jeopardized. It may be victimized. It may be not as present. People may not have the ability to be as open-minded and eager to communicate with others. Instead, they might be set in their mental ways and wanting to withdraw from communicating their ideas. So rather than having this, like for example at work, if someone knows that solution A is the best solution, but maybe they are feeling anxiety at work, maybe because of different communications they've been having with their bosses, they are now not sure they want to share information with their coworkers. They want to hold back and see if maybe not sharing is the best thing. They want to say, oh, I got that, instead of being like, yes, let me show you how. So just know that when it comes to school and work and life in general, even when you're dealing with your family members at home, there may be this desire to just not want to just rush into explaining. There's just, instead you're like, let me just handle that. Let me just deal with that. You don't need to worry about that. So that always clouds an energy when people just want to take control of a situation by dominating the information. So just beware that that is something that could happen over the next month while Mercury is in retrograde. So for our self-expression, we have to be careful how we deal with family. For honest communication through ourselves and others, there will be a possible tendency to not want to give away data and information from one to another in any form. All right, the next card is, what do you need to do when communication issues arise? Let's say you're having problems wanting to be around your family. You're making excuses. Or maybe at work you're deciding that new coworker isn't worth you training all the details. You know, at school you don't want to help your friend learn that new math equation. Whatever it might be. What do you do? Here we are. The 10. Look at that, they lined up. I'm not a numerologist. I feel like I should dabble in it because numbers fascinate me, especially random chaos, but yet organized numbers. Just love it. So what we have here is the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is a card of just hunkering down and moving forward, even if we sometimes feel like maybe there's nothing to move forward with, or like it's too much. Like this card actually does often have an instance of being overburdened and overworked and overloaded. But here we're talking about communication. We're talking about the energy and the work involved in communication. And this, I mean, I don't know if I actually could have picked a better card, because when it comes to communication problems, you are going to first and foremost, when dealing with them, have to force yourself to work harder to communicate with people that you need to talk to, whether it be your family. Let's say, you know, somebody, your cousin's kid's birthday party is coming up and you're just not feeling getting out of the house. You are isolating yourself from sharing life and celebrating with your family. You are going to simply have to make yourself go. Make yourself go. Okay, that's actually probably the best example I can give right now. At work, we'll go back to the work phrase. If you have that coworker that you feel like they should know the answer, but they just don't know. Well, guess what? Mercury is probably affecting them. Force yourself to help them. Force yourself to talk to them. Share your ideas. Don't shut down the communication lines, because right now with Mercury in this phase of retrograde, the more you give in to shutting down these communication lines, the more communication problems will occur. Guaranteed. And that's astrology or Mercury in retrograde or not, no matter how you look at it. When you're having communication problems, you really need to try to communicate a little more, maybe in a different way, but don't stop communicating, because that will only ensure that no data, no information is being transferred from one to another, and that is not the goal. Okay, in life, you're supposed to communicate and share with everyone. So the next card, we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups here, it says, what habits should I avoid, okay, when Mercury is in retrograde? So this is actually a pretty good one too, because the Three of Cups, here we have emotion. We've got this energy to want to just emote, if that's a word. I got that from Futurama. And be happy with friends and family. So this may be a little bit contradictory to what I'm telling you here, but here I will say, while Mercury is in retrograde, you should avoid, okay, being too party animal. That's what I really read from this right here. It says friendships and comrades. It doesn't say family. It doesn't say loved ones. It doesn't say lovers or work or anything along those lines. The threes, those are all about knowledge and understanding. They are about fulfillment. Don't give in to too much fulfillment. Make sure that what you are doing to fulfill yourself emotionally comes back to family and true friendship and true communication with people, where you are being 100% giving. Don't allow yourself to become too happy here, because one thing I'll promise you, again, Zodiac or not, if you are finding something easy to do, that's probably not what you should be doing. Okay, so if there is a situation where you've like A or B, like, do I want to go to the birthday party or do I want to go out drinking with the girls? Okay, well, yeah, you want to go out drinking with the girls. Hello, we always want to go out drinking with the girls, but drinking with the girls is not what we need. Family is what we're going to be hurting over the next month. Friendships, deep bonds, long-term commitments, not partying, not giving in to like temptations. While this is not a card of just giving into temptation, I always do get that energy from the Three of Cups. This card to me is like party animal. I'm out having all the fun with all the friends. No. We gotta be careful. This next month, we got to be careful. We got to work hard. We got to be open to communication. Don't give in to just running out and being out with your friends or even your loved ones. If you know you're wasting money, you know you're doing something that is opposing to what you should be doing, make sure any events that you do here are to the greater good. The greater good of progressing any positive, in interactions and communication with people that are close to you, bonds that may be in jeopardy. Okay, it doesn't help you to continue to refortify relationships that aren't being damaged. Just putting it out there. All right, the final card, the one I've been waiting for. I have no idea what this card is. I really do not look at these. Okay, the final card. What energy should you be protecting? Ooh, oh my God. Wow. I mean, the essence of everything to do with communication. It's almost like so obvious that it's pointless. It's like so everything that you should ever do when communication is being damaged that it's like, can you be a little more specific? No, it's just everything. But to be more specific, The aces are the crown, as you see. It is the crown. It is the root of the power of that card, which in this case is air, which is communication. It's also spirit. I don't know if you guys know this, but depending on what kind of tarot you read and how you deal with the cards, the ace, or the swords, is the one sign that has two meanings. It is the air card, which is communication, but it's also the spirit card. So it's like two forms of communication, earthly communication and spiritual communication, just so you know. And an ace card, they tend to be ruled by Pluto, so people say, but I'm not going to get into that right now. We are going to instead focus on the fact that this is about the beginning before the beginning. This is before you even knew there was a plan, the energy that was surrounding you when that plan came into your mind. So, what energy should you protect? The essence of how you deal with others, the essence of how you talk to others, how you go about living with others. And I just want to emphasize, I know I'm very handsy, but I just want to emphasize that when it comes to thinking in your mind, the ace is where thought begins, okay? This is where the energy, before you even contemplate, the unconscious energy, I'll say, of where that, before that thought to answer that question here, before you even realize, what you're gonna say to that person, there is this need to just take an internal moment and breathe into what is beautiful about communication and about life and about journeying with others mentally and spiritually, and everything that involves being able to take something into your mind, letting all the neurons and electrical pathways open up and the little cellular activity happen deep within the folds of your brain. That energy needs to be as pure as possible. Don't take any of the other, there's an ace through kings. Everything beyond the ace is like a slow pathway towards, how would you say it? Being jaded, okay? Jaded thought or long-term thought or thought after, years of experience. Not the ace. The ace is absolute pure. The ace is like the thoughts inside of a baby's head almost. Before you even understand how you are thinking, you need to make sure there is purity there. So I know I've gone on and on about that, but let me just rephrase it one more way to say, make sure when you deal with talking and writing and reading and taking in data and putting out data into the world via your mouth and your heart and your eyes, we communicate in so many ways, that you give yourself the nudge to say, okay, what would I do? What would the new me do? What would a new me do? Not what would me yesterday or me a week ago or me after, the 37 years of my life has gone by. But let's say, poof, this is the first time I've ever been in this situation. Self, what would I do? That purity, that innocence, that new beginning that is going to put us right at the front. Okay? So yeah, your family, maybe things haven't been perfect lately with family. 2020 was hard on everybody. We all like to think, what a year, but it's been a year for everyone. A lot of stuff happened to me in 2020, and honestly, the thing that got me through the most was remembering that the whole world was broken. The whole world was hurting. And that was why I even started my channel, because I wanted to start an effort to give people a place to heal, a place to come and talk, a community to exist where we can all begin healing together. Because that's what 2021 is. It is, even though COVID is still here, the people of the world really have it in their mind, like, Thank God it's not 2020 anymore. We put so much emphasis on getting past December 31st of 2020 that even though things really didn't change January 1st, in some ways they got even crazier, in some ways they've gotten better, in some ways they've not changed at all, you know? But mentally, we ran through that door. We were like, where is it? Where is it? Oh my God, I want that door, you know? So here we are on the other side of that door, and we are like, I think we're all kind of in this place where we're like, how do I not make the same mistakes in life? This is like a do-over. This is like a get out of jail free card in Monopoly. Like, let me actually take this seriously. So here we are, my friends. Our first moment of possible setback. Mercury being in retrograde. All right, let's take it seriously. Let's make sure we are reviewing all of what the world has to give us, all of what our options are, all of what means something to us, and get through this together as peacefully and, calmly and quietly. Let's walk past the Mercury retrograde and make sure that we all make it out the other side, still friends, right? That's what we want. Every time something goes bad, we very rarely think, I never want to see that person again. We just want things to go back to normal. So let's get all of our energies aligned and everything that we have to offer and try to just get everything back to normal. So a quick recap again before I completely lose the sun. I don't know how dark this is, but I'm not good at editing, so you probably get what you get. Be careful how you deal with your family. Don't make excuses when it comes to spending time with people that you really do love. Be there for them, especially if they need you. They should be there for you. Explain to them that you really need them, okay? Don't allow the communication to collapse when it comes to your family. In general, when it comes to just purity and honesty, no matter what aspect of life, home, work, school, whatever, make sure you're sharing your ideas. Make sure you're being available to teach and help people to get through life as easily and seamlessly as possible. The less chaos we cause, the less chaos there will be. When you find yourself just absolutely not wanting to comply with either of the last two things I've said, try a little harder, please. Just try a little bit harder. Dig a little bit deeper. Pull those fire energies up into your body and say, I'm going to do it. Celeste said, I'm going to do it. And just please think about it. If you find temptation calling at your doorstep, if you find yourself wanting to just run and celebrate things that are of non-communicative, non-family and work relations where you're trying to get away from your problems, please reconsider. Please reconsider. And the essence of your energy that you should protect like it was your newborn infant is the purity of your mind. Don't allow others to jade your thoughts. Don't jade your own thoughts. Let your thoughts just be organic and pure and just gut reaction. Okay, just gut reaction. How would you deal with that if you hadn't been there 40 times before? All right. That's all I have for you today, my lovelies. I hope that this has helped you and can help you. Please come back. Watch it again if you need to. I just want what is best for us all the rest of our lives. And like I said, here's our first obstacle. 2021 Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. Let's see how we do. All right, until next time. Cheers.